Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy Doc. Welcome to another edition of Doc TV. So I'm doing this kind of like a weekend review. I'm doing like a two-parter today because I haven't really been doing too much on the Doc Report. I've actually been shout out to Nicole Bitchy, who did this, who mentioned this on the Breakfast Club last week, that she did an internet cleanse. So that means she didn't update her website. She wasn't on social media or anything for like a week, and that's what I've been doing too. Basically, I've been on the internet world wide web cleanse. People, I haven't done anything with the doc report, so I am going to be updating the website again because I do feel lost without the website sometimes. That is my baby right there. So I am going to be updating the doc report, and of course doing the FNL radio. Plus I haven't, like I said, I haven't done the video in a long time, so this is like my first introduction back into the world of social media in a minute because I've been on my break, and it's been a good cleanse too. I feel at center now. If that makes sense. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a new album that came out last week. So it's been a week now, but I'm talking about that Mariah Carey. I Am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse. Now, if y'all don't know, Mariah Carey is #1 wifey, next to Britney Spears, next to Beyonce, next to Rihanna, and some others, but those are like my elite group right there because I grew up on these people. And Mariah, she first busted into the scene in the 1990s, so, her career is just as old as I am, 24 years old. So I grew up listening to Mariah, so I have like almost every Mariah Carey album, with the exception of like the first 3 albums. This is the Target Deluxe Edition right here that has the bonus track, America the Beautiful, up there, which she performed last year on the 4th of July Spectacular for Macy's on NBC. I'm not going to get into that recording right quick, but it is what it is. Y'all know what it is. If y'all listen to the performance and then y'all listen to the track right here, y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's neither here nor there because I love Mariah. And on the back of the album cover, she has a portrait that a self-portrait that she drew when she was 3.5 years old, which she explains on the album too. And she even has a little saying up here too. On the back cover on the album is a personal treasure. This is my first and only self-portrait. I drew it when I was 3.5 and entitled it "Me, I Am Mariah." Please don't judge me for such a simplistic title. Come on, I was only 3.5. With her little ad-lib laughs in the background. Y'all know Mariah she's like the female Young Jeezy with them ad-libs in the background of her just laughing. Who else has an ad-lib other than laughing on different types of layers? Only Mariah, only Mimi. But anyways, she said it was a creative visualization of how I saw myself with the purity of a child's heart before it was ever broken. The album is really good. She worked with everyone from Hit Boy, Rodney Jerkins, Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, Q-Tip, Big Jim Wright. And then also got collaborations there with Nas, Wale, Miguel, of course, on Beautiful, Them Babies, Rock and Roll. Got Fabulous on the album too, Mary J. Blige and R. Kelly. So I'm gonna give my track by track review real quick. So it starts off with "Cry," which is a nice ballad, and it has a little nostalgic moment to it because in the lines in the chorus she say, "Till we both break down and cry," you know, take it back to the Butterfly album, the joint breakdown. She says kind of the same thing in the chorus on that song too. So it's kind of get that nostalgia feel to it. So y'all understand what I mean if you listen to the song. Then it goes into "Faded," which was produced by Mike Will Made It, and that's a hot joint. This should be a single in the future if she does get that chance to release some more singles from this album. But it is a hot joint, so it's definitely a nice little follow up to the song. Then it goes to dedicated with Nas. And shout out to Hit Boy who produced it. And shout out to James Fauntleroy too. James Fauntleroy is a great songwriter. And his ad libs with Mariah on the hook, his background vocals, them harmonizing together, it sounds good. It has that 80s kind of feel to it, that 90s feel to it. It's really good. It's a really good joint. Then it goes into "Beautiful" with Miguel, of course. One of my favorite songs from Mariah and Miguel. It's very organic, something that was great that came out last summer. Really one of my favorite songs of last summer. Even to this day, it still kind of sounds fresh in a sense too, being that the album just came out, and though the song is a year old, it still sounds fresh being on this album. So that's a really good thing too. Then it goes into "Thirsty," which is like the upgrade to "Obsessed" from the Memoirs album. And she really going in on this joint. People were saying, "What she talking about Nick Cannon? What she talking about, Nicki Minaj, and stuff like that." But Mariah hit him with the jab on this one, and this is a really good song. I thought it was going to be the single. And Rich Homie Quan, he's doing his little ad libs up there. You're thirsty. He got the remix too, which hopefully we get to hear one day. We only heard the remix version when it got played on the Breakfast Club on Power 105.1, but we really didn't get to hear the official studio version or the official rip of it. We just heard the radio rip of it, but Really good song to it by Hit Boy. It has that Niggas in Paris kind of feel to it too, that little bounce. Also kind of sounds like Flawless in a sense too, with some of the synths in the song. So it's a really good joint too. Then Make It Look Good, produced by Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri. Stevie Wonder and his wondrous braids are on the joint too with his harmonica. Brian Michael Cox too in the hook, harmonizing with Mariah too. Like y'all gotta listen to these things. Like they really sound good together, harmonizing. So I'm a music head, so I always listen to the musicality of everything. So that was a really good joint too. Even Jermaine Dupri doing this little background ad-libs in the chorus too. Your Mind Eternal. You Don't Know What to Do with Wale. It has that real roller skater bounce feel to it, which is a good look. It's very reminiscent of fantasy in a sense. Like it has that nostalgic feel to it. It really feels like fantasy of 2014. It's really bright. It's a really great summer song. It's the official that Def Jam is calling it the official first single of the album, even though we had the other first singles. But this is the official first single of the album. So, hopefully radio eats it up. Hopefully it does good with downloads. Wale did a great job on the joint too. There's going to be a solo version of it too once the song is officially released as a single, which will be in the next coming weeks, people. So y'all be on the lookout for that as the official first single from Me, I Am Mariah. And they already shot the video too, so can't wait to see that one. Then it goes to Supernatural with Them Babies. A nice ballad. It's really, the babies sound so cute on there too. It's a really good song because it's supposed to be for the babies. And also Monroe, she sounds good. And if y'all saw the Instagram video too that Mariah put up too, she is going to be a singer. Undeniably, she's gonna follow in her mom's footsteps. Like she sounded good at 2.5 and 3 years old. Like she sounded good. I was like, what? So, that's a really nice song too. Then goes in the Meteorite, produced by Q-Tip. For those who've been following Mariah and Q-Tip's collabos from back in the day, he did co-produce Honey with Stevie J and Diddy, or Puff Daddy, from back in the day on the Butterfly album. So, they've been collaborating from back in the day. And Meteorite is a real disco jammer. It sounds good. I can see it being played in a lot of dance clubs, and I can see it doing good on the dance charts. It can be a nice dance single release overseas probably too, and it'll probably do good because it sounds that good. Then it goes into Camouflage, which sounds like, it looks like Twister from the Glitter album. It has that, just her harmonies and her, melody in the song. It just sounds like something from the Glitter soundtrack, which is very underrated by the way too, but it has that feel to it. Then it goes into Money, which has little symbols, this, that, and the other, with Fabulous. It sounds like Lullaby from the Charm Bracelet album, and it sounds good. Like her and Fab really did a thing up there too. Fab collaborated with her on Last Night DJ Saved My Life on the Glitter soundtrack too, and it's a nice joint too. I can see this being released as a single if promoted correctly. Like a lot of songs on this album can be released as singles if they are promoted correctly. So I really like that song right there. One More Try, which was produced by Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri as well, is a cover of George Michael's song from '88 of the same song, One More Try, and she put a gospel twist to it. The originals already had like R&B tinge to it, but she put like this gospel twist to it, and 6 minutes long. It sounds like something from the first album or from the Emotions album. Like her vocal sounds so 1990 and so 1991. Up here is no joke. Like she sounds so good on here. So, that's another highlight of the album. Then it goes into Heavenly, No Ways Tired, Can't Give Up Now. Now I was looking at the titles of the songs like before the album came out, and I was like, Heavenly, No Ways Tired, Can't Give Up Now. I was like, she can't be doing the remake of Can't Give Up Now. Now, the only time ever, being, a church boy and stuff like that, the only time we've heard this from church and stuff on gospel radio, or, also Mary covered it on their first album as well. But Can't Give Up Now, Mariah did a different spin to it. And this past few weeks, I've been, dealing with a lot of stuff, like trying to get everything in order and stuff like that. It's getting ready to be the summer, so I'm trying to do a lot of stuff for the Doc Report and FNL Radio, so it's just been a lot of stress here, there, and the other. But that song really put me in a place where I just feel like, yo, Mariah is speaking to me on this song. Like, if y'all listen to the lyrics of the song, even though it's a classic record that's just been revamped, like, just hearing the words and just hearing Mariah sing it, and even in the verses, it's just like, speaks to you. So this is definitely one of my favorite highlights of the album for sure. And the gospel choir and everything adds a great twist to it. Great song. So definitely one of the songs that you should really look out for in this album. Then it goes to the deluxe edition tracks, which is a rap with Mary J. Blige, which was supposed to be on the Memoirs of Imperfect Angel remix album, Angel's Advocate, and it's um it's very copy and paste, as with all the songs that was supposed to be on the Angel's Advocate album. But it is what it is. It was great to hear Mariah and Mary on the same joint together because the last time they collaborated together was on the Just Stand Up for Cancer song from back in '08. So that was the last time they really collaborated together. But it was a really good song though. This remix was very good. Hopefully it can be performed live one day, between the two. It would be nice to see them on stage together singing this song. But their chemistry on the song is really good too. Then it goes into Bet You Gonna Know with R. Kelly. Now R. Kelly, this is one of my favorite songs from Memoirs of the Perfect Angel. In fact, Memoirs of the Perfect Angel is a very underrated album too. A lot of people say the album was so bad and stuff like that, was terrible. Mariah had some great vocals on that album, some great melodies. The tracks were very ratchet, but it was a different twist to Mariah. There was a different side of Mariah, so that's why I liked it because it wasn't the same old Mariah, prissy Mariah and stuff like that. It was prissy Mariah, but it was prissy Mariah with a little ratchet twist to it because of the dream, because of the hamburger, because of Terry Nash. He brought that gangster side out of her on that album. She was just talking all this type of shit, and it was really good to hear her talk like that. So I appreciate that album. So Memoirs is still one of my favorite albums, but hands down, this is one of my favorite albums though. But back to Bet You Gonna Know. So it's the opening song on the last album, and it was one of my favorite songs. And adding R. Kelly to it just gives that dramatic twist to it because the song was already really dramatic. Her and the Dream really gave a very storytelling tell on this album, on that song, and adding R. Kelly to it was just a great twist to it. And he did a demo version of it before too, but then they went back in the studio and redid it again with R. Kelly again, like last year. And I would have to say, I could see this being a video. I can see a video being done for that remix too. Even though it's very copy and paste, as with the other remix, it was still a good song. So I definitely hope they do a video for it, or hopefully it gets released. Not even as a single, just do a video for it, just for the fun, just for the hell of it, just for the dramatics of it, just so we can have something entertaining. It's very trapped in the closet like. And I still wish it would have been a single or a video release from Mariah's album when she released it last year or the last time. So, it is what it is. Then it goes to The Art of Letting Go, which is not a very deep song too, which has very Vision of Love type of feel to it, produced by Rodney Jerkins. And then that's the end of the album. So it's a very good album. It reminded me of. It gives me a lot of different twists of Mariah albums. It gives me that feel of Butterfly. It gives me that feel of Rainbow. It gives me that feel of Charm Bracelet, that feel of Glitter, that feel of Emancipation of Mimi with the gospel side to it. And then also take it back all the way to the Mariah album, the Mariah Carey album, take it all the way back to the Emotions album, the Music Box album. And then it also gives you that feel of even Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel just with the Thirsty joint. So it gives you a lot of different sides of Mariah albums, but it's like upgraded to the highest level. And that's with every Mariah album too. The album's called Me, I Am Mariah, The Elusive Chanteuse. I'm pretty sure most of y'all didn't even know what chanteuse meant before this album came out. So Mariah, once again, is taking us to the dictionaries. Mariah, thank you for getting me through grade school with your vocabulary because I always listen to your songs to write words in my stories or in my papers I had to write. Even up into college, I listened to your albums and wrote words that was in your songs because they were like big words. I was like, she has a broad vocabulary. Like make you want to go to the dictionary to figure out what this word means or go to the thesaurus. So shout out to Mariah Carey for being the vocabulary goddess that she is. But it's a great album, so make sure y'all pick it up. It debuted with 58,000 copies this week at number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart and at number 1 on the R&B charts. So low numbers, her lowest selling album to date, but it is a great album. It's her 17th top 20 album. I mean, her 17th top 10 album though, so that's a clap bravo right there. But y'all make sure y'all pick this album up. Even she got the parental advisory, like she cursing on this album, people. A lot of females that's were prissy and cursing on the albums. Like you got Britney with a parental advisory sticker on her album. You got Mariah with a parental advisory sticker, Beyonce with a parental advisory sticker, Kelly Rowland with a parental advisory sticker. All these girls just going ratchet and wild with these parental advisory stickers on their albums. But hey, I love it. But make sure I pick this album up. Me, I Am Mariah, The Elusive Chanteuse, and that's my review of the album. Make sure I pick it up. Check out next time. Peace.